your federal investments in social, behavioral, and economic sciences. In the most recent effort among many, the FIRST Act, as introduced, proposed to cut NSF's modest investment in social sciences by 40%. And my colleagues seem unable to connect the dots between human sciences and our national interests. Can you please remind us once again both how small our social science budget is relative to our overall R&D budget, and more importantly, what we lose in terms of benefits to society when we arbitrarily cut and restrict support for competitively awarded social science research? Mike, turn your mic on.
Let me start with the social, behavioral, and economic sciences line within NSF. It, in the FY15 request, is $272 million out of a total research sum of $5.8 billion. So it is a very, very modest proportion of the NSF budget. The second thing I would say is there has been abundant documentation of the benefits to society of NSF's investments in this domain. Those fall in the categories of making our democracy work better, including work on the conduct of elections, management of common property resources without regulation, decision-making under uncertainty, understanding negotiation and compromise, and more. Tracking and improving economic and social well-being, economic and social databases and statistics, understanding poverty, understanding what works in teaching, improving public health and safety, risk communication, what causes people to get out of the way of hurricanes and tornadoes, what works, optimizing disaster response, controlling the spread of infectious diseases through social behavior, reducing human trafficking, understanding the patterns of crime, enabling us to map crime, allocate law enforcement resources better. National defense and international relations, understanding the conduct of other nations, understanding the effectiveness of sanctions. Nonverbal communication, which helps our troops function in environments where other languages are spoken. Interdisciplinary work involving social and economic scientists in cybersecurity, in geographic information systems, in neuroscience, psychology, language learning, decision processes. I think we're getting a lot of bang for the buck out of social, behavioral, and economic sciences in NSF.
Thank you very much. In the FIRST Act, some of my colleagues are proposing to move the Interagency STEM Education Coordinating Committee, known as COSTEM, from the National Science and Technology Council to NSF. COSTEM was created at the NSTC in response to a requirement that we put in the 2010 Competes Act. I have a few concerns about this, including taking resources out of other important NSF programs and also the decreased stature of the committee if we move it out of the White House. What are your thoughts on moving COSTEM's responsibilities to NSF?
Well, thank you for that question. I think the COSTEM, the Committee on STEM Education, should stay where it is in the National Science and Technology Council. The reason for that is the NSTC is the body that was set up to coordinate and oversee STEM-related activities that cross agency and department boundaries. And of course, as further discussion will doubtless illuminate, and as this committee knows, the STEM education function is spread across many different departments and agencies in this government, harnessing the special capabilities of NASA, of NIH, the Department of Education, the NSF, the Smithsonian Institution. And it is obviously in the interest of coordination and efficiency that the oversight of that operation be in a place that includes all of the stakeholders, all of the participants, as the NSTC COSTEM does.
Thank you very much. Well, I have 15 more seconds. Many of us have concerns about some of the numbers in the President's R&D budget request. For example, the request for NSF is below inflation, but the President is also proposing R&D funding as part of the Opportunity, Growth, and Security Initiative. How does this initiative fit into the President's commitment to continue our investments in science and innovation?
Well, as I said in my testimony, we think the base budget doesn't have enough room for all of the priorities of the President and what we think should be the priorities of the nation, and that's why that supplemental Opportunity, Growth, and Security Initiative was devised, to provide an opportunity for the President to say what he thinks we really need and to provide the Congress an opportunity to provide it.
Thank you very much. I yield back.